This video will explain the benefits of keeping the water distribution system in Adu Achi pressurized, as well as the procedure of accomplishing this task. In a fully pressurized system, all pipes are constantly full of water and the tanks are filled. Ideally, a tap at any point in the system can be opened and water will come out even while the generator is not running. What are some of the benefits of a pressurized system? A pressurized system is more cost efficient. When people do not know when to expect water, they often leave the taps open. When the system is then pumping water, the taps are left open and water is wasted. In addition, a pressurized system is not as easily damaged because the pipes are stronger when water is inside of them. Therefore, repair costs will be lower. In addition, leaks will be easier to identify and quickly fix in a pressurized system. A pressurized system is cleaner. Contaminants are prevented from entering the pipes because the water is pushing out on the pipes. This ensures water will only flow out and not allow anything in. If pipes are empty, bugs, dirt, and bacteria that could cause sickness can enter, contaminating water when it eventually flows through. Another benefit of a pressurized system is that water is readily available, so people will not have to rely on storage. A pressurized system is more reliable. Water will always be readily available at any tap and there will be no periods without water. Without a pressurized system, there is not enough pressure to allow water to flow uphill and provide water to Umualuwa. However, all kindreds will have access to water once the system is fully pressurized. Note that any pipe installed above the elevation of the tanks will never receive water, even in a pressurized system. Overall, the pressurized system is more cost efficient, provides cleaner water, and is more reliable for each member of the community. This portion of the video will detail the process of pressurizing the system. Here is a map of the system. This map shows the tanks, the borehole, and the pipes in the system. The school and the football field by the church are also shown to provide landmarks for better understanding. It is necessary to pressurize the system in small increments. This means that we will pressurize one section and wait for it to become stable before moving on and pressurizing the next section. It is important to pressurize in sections like this because if the whole system were to be pressurized at once, then there would be many leaks in different sections and it would be too difficult to manage. By pressurizing in sections, the pipes can be more easily monitored, there will be less waste, and the overall process can be better managed. Our proposal is to start the system one part at a time in the order shown on the map. This will divide the system into 4 sections of almost equal size. The first section that will be pressurized is the Ojiri North and South branches. This section is shown in blue. It will be pressurized by opening the valves from the tanks and valve 4 while keeping valve 5 closed and the rest of the system closed. Once this branch is stable, then the next section, shown in orange, will be pressurized. This is accomplished by opening valves 5 but keeping valves 7 and 8 closed, so the rest of the system is closed. The third section to be pressurized is shown in green. It will be done by opening valve 8 and keeping 7 closed. The fourth section is shown in red and will be pressurized by opening valve 7. At this point, the whole system is pressurized. The following is an outline of the procedure for pressurizing the system. Step 1. Inform as many members of the community as possible about the plan and why it is necessary. Step 2. Prepare to pressurize the first branch of the system. Ask for money from homeowners who access the first branch. If they do not pay, lock or cut their connection. Also tell people to keep their taps closed while the system is pressurizing and when they are not using water. Step 3. Close the valve at the end of the first branch, then fill the pipeline. Step 4. Inspect the entire pipeline along the first branch. If you find a leak, that section of the system should be shut down right away to avoid losing all the water in the tanks. Also make sure people are not wasting water, meaning they do not leave their taps open when not collecting water. If someone has a leaky tap, inform them it must be replaced or their tap will be locked. Step 5. Check the tanks at the end of the day, starting the first day, then again in the morning. Expect a significant drop in water level the first night as people fill their containers. However, the drop could also be due to leaks, so an inspection is necessary to diagnose the cause of the drop in water level. If there is a significant drop the second or subsequent nights, re-examine the pressurized section of the pipeline because there is most likely a leak or an open tap. Continue to check the tanks and the system every day to make sure there are no unexpected drops in water level or leaks. Step 6. When the water level is stable for 1 full week and it is confirmed there are no leaks, close valve at the end of the next branch and repeat step 4 through step 6. Repeat until whole system is pressurized. When we, the Engineers Without Borders team from University of Illinois, first attempted this procedure, we walked around the pressurized section of the system 2 to 3 times a day to check for leaks and open taps. If this is not done, a lot of water will be wasted. We checked the water level in the tanks to make sure there were not any significant drops due to leaks or taps being left open. When we pressurized Ojiri branch, we saw that the tanks had almost completely drained overnight. After examining the pressurized branch, we determined that this large drop in the water level was caused by most people filling all of their containers as well as several taps being left open unattended. We expected this because when the system is first pressurized, there will be a high demand for water and people will fill all of their containers. After the demand is gone, the branch should become more stable if there are no leaks. After we refilled the tanks and told people to close their taps when they weren't being used, we saw a much lower drop in water level the second night, and by the third night, the water level in the tanks dropped less than a foot, which is ideal. We waited a week to ensure this branch of the system was stable. While pressurizing sections of the system, it is still possible to provide water to the rest of the system at the same rate as before. To do this, we can just open the valve between the part of the system that is pressurized and the part that is not. For example, for the first section, if we were to open the valve near the school, water will flow from the pressurized section to the rest of the system. It is important that the pressurized section of the system does not lose too much pressure and the tanks do not run out of water. To avoid this problem, we will have to pump during the entire time the valve is open between the pressurized and unpressurized branches. Once we have finished providing water to the rest of the system, we must close the valve between the unpressurized sections and the pressurized sections and continue pumping until the tanks are refilled. This helps to ensure the sections you are keeping pressurized will have sufficient water to stay pressurized. In summary, in order to pressurize the whole system, it is necessary to pressurize the system first in small increments. Remember that you should not pressurize a new branch until the one that you are working on is stable for at least a week. When pressurizing in increments, it is necessary to talk to the community so they all understand what is happening. Do not only talk to people who live in the part of the system that is being pressurized, but also to parts of the system that are not yet pressurized. It is important to make sure the people in the unpressurized branches understand why the incremental process is necessary and that they will still have access to water while the pressurization process is taking place. Remember that at all points during pressurization, you must check the system for leaks. Also remember to regularly check the water level of the tanks, which can indicate leaks or whether pumping is necessary. A pressurized system will have the greatest positive impact on the community because it is the most sustainable, clean, and reliable way of operating the system.